The Sunshine State, a place where the sun almost always shines and the air is thick with warmth, is suddenly facing a winter shock unlike anything in recent memory. Florida, a state that has built its identity on balmy breezes and endless summer days, is waking up to a world transformed by an Arctic blast. Known across the globe for its golden beaches, swaying palms, and a climate that draws millions of visitors each year, Florida is famous for its endless summer. The state's residents and tourists alike are used to basking in the sun, enjoying outdoor cafes, and strolling along the shore in shorts and sandals, even in the heart of winter. But this January 28, 2026, is rewriting the rulebook. Miami, a city that rarely sees temperatures dip below 50 degrees, is facing a rare and powerful deep freeze. Thermometers across the region are plunging to levels not seen in decades, and the city's vibrant streets are eerily quiet as people huddle indoors, trying to escape the biting cold. Miami's palm-lined streets, usually bustling with life, are shivering under an Arctic blast. Floridians, who are more accustomed to sunscreen than scarves, are now trading flip-flops for heavy coats and hot chocolate. The sight of bundled-up locals, their breath visible in the morning air, is a surreal reminder of just how unusual this cold snap is. This isn't just a cool day. It's a historic event, rewriting records and shocking a state built for heat. Newsstands across Miami are plastered with headlines about record-breaking lows, and swimming pools, usually the center of social life, sit empty, their decks dusted with frost. The wind bites with an unfamiliar sharpness, the air is crisp and dry, and frost dusts the landscape, turning familiar scenes into something out of a northern winter. For South Florida, where even a light jacket is a rare sight, the transformation is nothing short of astonishing. Usually, Florida's warm waters and unique geography act as a shield, protecting it from the worst of winter's wrath. The Gulf Stream, flowing just offshore, typically keeps the air mild and the beaches inviting. But this time, the defenses have failed, and the cold has swept in with relentless force. A direct pipeline of frigid air has breached the state, threatening not just the comfort of its people, but also its vital crops, infrastructure, and even its wildlife. Citrus groves, the pride of Florida's agricultural industry, are at risk of devastating losses. Iguanas, stunned by the cold, lie motionless on sidewalks, a bizarre and troubling sight for locals. Freeze warnings now stretch from the Panhandle all the way down to Miami-Dade, uniting Floridians in a scramble for blankets, space heaters, and any source of warmth they can find. Stores are quickly selling out of winter gear, and neighbors are checking in on each other, sharing tips on how to keep pipes from freezing and homes safe. Meteorologists warn that this is just the beginning. An even colder wave is set to peak soon, and the state is bracing for further disruptions. Experts are urging everyone to stay vigilant, as the unusual weather pattern could linger, bringing more challenges in the days ahead. The Sunshine State is learning a hard lesson. Even paradise isn't immune to nature's surprises. As Floridians bundle up and brace for the cold, they're reminded that the weather can change in an instant, and that resilience is just as much a part of life here as the sun and the sea. The numbers are staggering. Temperatures across Florida are plunging up to 30 degrees below normal. This isn't just a typical winter chill, it's a dramatic, almost surreal drop that's sending shockwaves through communities from the Panhandle to the southernmost islands. Meteorologists are calling it one of the most significant cold outbreaks in decades, with the entire state gripped by an Arctic blast that's rarely seen this far south. Jacksonville braces for teens, Orlando for the 20s, and Tampa for lows below 35, threatening the state's vital citrus groves. Farmers are scrambling to protect their crops, using every trick in the book, sprinklers, covers, and even wind machines, to shield delicate fruit from the biting cold. The citrus industry, a cornerstone of Florida's economy, faces a sleepless night as growers anxiously monitor the dropping temperatures, knowing that a single freeze could mean millions in losses. Even Miami faces its coldest morning in 16 years, with lows in the mid-30s and highs barely reaching the 50s. For a city known for its endless summer, the sight of palm trees dusted with frost and locals bundled in scarves and gloves is almost unimaginable. Residents are waking up to frozen windshields and chilly breezes, a rare experience that has many digging out winter coats they never thought they'd need. The Florida Keys, usually balmy, will see lows in the 40s. Even here, where tropical warmth is the norm, the cold is impossible to ignore. Locals and tourists alike are donning jackets and hats, and the usually vibrant beaches are quiet, shrouded in a misty chill. The cold snap is a stark reminder that even paradise isn't immune to the power of nature. More than 40 record lows could fall across the state this weekend. News outlets are buzzing with updates as meteorologists track the plummeting numbers, and social media is flooded with photos of frosty lawns and frozen fountains. For many Floridians, this is the coldest weather they've ever experienced, and the state is bracing for a weekend that will be talked about for years to come. This isn't just a cold snap, it's a critical test for Florida's infrastructure and agriculture. Utility crews are working overtime to prevent frozen pipes and power outages, while families take extra precautions to keep their homes warm. Schools and businesses are adjusting schedules, and communities are coming together to help the most vulnerable weather the storm. The state's resilience is being put to the test in ways few could have predicted. From Pensacola to Key West, the entire state is under siege from an Arctic air mass. Iconic landmarks, from the white sands of Destin to the Art Deco streets of Miami Beach, are cloaked in an unusual winter gloom. The cold is uniting Floridians in a shared experience, as everyone, from lifelong residents to recent transplants, faces the same icy challenge. For residents, it's a rare, memorable event. For the state, it's a challenge to resilience. Families are gathering indoors, sharing stories and hot drinks, while neighbors check in on each other to make sure everyone is safe. The cold has brought a sense of community, as people adapt to conditions they never expected to face in the Sunshine State. The deep freeze is rewriting Florida's weather history. As new records are set and old ones shattered, this extraordinary cold spell will be remembered as a defining moment, one that tested the state's spirit and left an indelible mark on its story. To truly grasp the significance of this freeze, we need to look back through the decades. Miami, a city famous for its endless summer, hasn't felt a chill like this in over 16 years. For many residents, the idea of frost on palm trees or seeing their breath in the morning air is almost unthinkable. The last time temperatures dipped this low, smartphones were just emerging, and the city's skyline looked very different. This rare cold snap is more than just a weather anomaly. It's a moment that connects today's Miamians with a distant past, reminding us how unusual and memorable these events are in the subtropics. In Tampa, the story is a little different. The city saw temperatures drop below 35 just last year, but even that brief encounter with winter felt like a distant memory, quickly replaced by the return of sunshine and warmth. Floridians here are used to mild winters, so when the mercury plunges, it's a shock to the system. People dig out rarely worn jackets, and local news stations buzz with tips on how to protect pipes and pets. The cold becomes the talk of the town, a shared experience that brings neighbors together in surprise and disbelief. Up in Jacksonville and Tallahassee, residents are a bit more accustomed to the occasional chill, but even here, the current lows are pushing the boundaries of what's considered normal. Record books are being dusted off as meteorologists compare today's numbers to those from decades past. Streets that are usually bustling with activity are quieter, as people stay indoors to escape the biting air. The cold is a reminder that, even in Florida's northern reaches, true winter is still a rare and noteworthy event. Florida's history is marked by legendary cold snaps, none more infamous than the Great Freeze of 1894-95. That devastating event wiped out entire orange groves, changed the course of the state's agriculture, and became a cautionary tale passed down through generations. Farmers still talk about it, and old photographs show the heartbreak etched on their faces. These rare freezes have shaped not just the land, but the very identity of Florida, reminding us that nature can rewrite the rules at any time. While this current event may not reach the catastrophic levels of the past, it's still a major chapter in Florida's weather history. News crews are out in force, capturing the reactions of residents who never expected to see their city shrouded in mist and cold. Social media is filled with photos of bundled-up families and frosty lawns, as everyone tries to make sense of this rare phenomenon. The rarity of such cold makes it especially disruptive. Plants that thrive in warmth are suddenly at risk, and animals, like the iconic iguanas, struggle to cope. Residents scramble to cover their gardens with blankets, hoping to save their tropical plants from frostbite. Even the local wildlife is thrown off balance, as cold-blooded creatures slow down or become immobile. For people, too, the lack of preparation is evident. Homes aren't built for this, and routines are upended overnight. Years, sometimes even decades, have passed since these temperature thresholds were last crossed. For many, the only reminders are faded signs or old newspaper clippings, documenting the rare times when Florida truly felt the grip of winter. These moments become part of local legend, stories told to children who can hardly imagine their sunny home ever being so cold. Now, a whole new generation is experiencing this for the very first time. Children who have never seen frost are waking up to icy lawns, and families are making memories as they bundle up for rare winter walks. The 2026 freeze is more than just a meteorological event. It's a societal and environmental challenge, testing how communities adapt and come together in the face of the unexpected. This isn't just a weather story, it's a test of Florida's way of life, a reminder that even in paradise, nature can surprise us all. As routines shift and communities rally, the 2026 freeze will be remembered as a defining moment in the state's history. What's driving this Arctic invasion? Three powerful forces: a displaced polar vortex, a bomb cyclone, and a stubborn high-pressure system. The polar vortex, usually swirling around the North Pole, has sent a lobe of frigid air straight for Florida. A bomb cyclone off the Carolina coast intensified the pull, slinging Arctic air southward. Meanwhile, a massive high-pressure system over the central U.S. blocked the cold from escaping, funneling it directly into Florida. This rare alignment created an atmospheric superhighway for the freeze. It's not just one factor, but the perfect storm of all three that's turned the Sunshine State into an icebox. Understanding this synergy reveals why this event is so much more severe than a typical winter cooldown. It's a meteorological punch Florida won't soon forget. Every corner of Florida is feeling the chill, from Pensacola's teens to Miami's 40s. In the Panhandle, pipes and plants are at risk as hard freezes linger for hours. Central Florida's agriculture is under threat. Strawberry and citrus farmers scramble to protect their crops. South Florida, usually immune, is now prepping shelters and running pool pumps to prevent freeze damage. Even the Keys are shivering, with marine life and tourism feeling the impact. The sight of bundled-up Floridians on Miami Beach is a surreal reminder of how out of place this cold truly is. No part of the state is spared. The scale and intensity are unprecedented. For once, everyone in Florida is saying the same thing. Wow, it's cold! As if the cold wasn't enough, biting winds are making it feel even worse. Wind chill, the feels-like temperature, can drop readings into the single digits in North Florida and the low 20s in Central Florida. In Miami, wind chills will make mid-30s feel like below freezing. Exposure to these conditions can cause frostbite in as little as 30 minutes, a new risk for most Floridians. Wind chill advisories are in effect statewide, warning of hypothermia dangers for anyone without shelter. The wind's howl is a constant, icy reminder of the Arctic air's grip. It keeps people indoors and heightens the sense of isolation. In this freeze, it's the wind chill that truly defines the harshness of Florida's coldest days. One of the most bizarre signs of Florida's freeze? Falling iguanas. These cold-blooded lizards become immobilized in the chill, dropping from trees across South Florida. While startling, most will recover as temperatures rise. Sea turtles face similar danger, becoming cold-stunned and washing ashore, prompting rescue efforts statewide. Manatees huddle in warm waters, and birds struggle to find food. The freeze is a harsh test for an ecosystem built for heat, not cold. Both native and invasive species are struggling to survive. This event is a vivid reminder of how quickly extreme weather can disrupt Florida's delicate natural balance. Florida's deep freeze is just one chapter in a nationwide cold wave. The same Arctic blast has shattered records from Texas to the Midwest, straining power grids and daily life. Cities like San Antonio and New Orleans have seen historic lows, while the Midwest faces even harsher conditions. This relentless tide of cold has swept across the country, culminating in Florida's rare freeze. The air's journey from the North Pole to Miami is a testament to the power of this polar vortex displacement. Florida's shivers are part of a shared national experience, a winter week no one will soon forget. The Sunshine State's freeze is the exclamation point on America's coldest days. As the cold lingers, safety is key. Protect people, pets, plants, and pipes. Dress in layers, check on vulnerable neighbors, and use space heaters safely. Bring pets indoors, short walks only, and provide shelter if they must stay outside. Cover sensitive plants or bring them inside, and let faucets drip to prevent frozen pipes. Open cabinet doors to let warm air reach plumbing on exterior walls. This freeze is temporary. A warming trend is on the horizon. By taking simple precautions and looking out for each other, Floridians will weather this rare cold snap. Soon the coats will go back in the closet, and life in paradise will return to normal.